Power does not vanish like thunder in the sky. It does not break as a storm breaks a tree. It erodes, it dissolves, it crumbles under the weight of men who betray themselves in silence. The world does not need to destroy you. You will do it first by abandoning your own command. That is how the fall begins. Not with a shout, but with a whisper. Not today. This is the crack in the fortress. One skipped ritual, one broken word. The man who obeys moods over mission is a traitor to his own throne. And the throne does not forgive weakness. It is not motivation that holds power. It is the silent, cold force of consistency. The man who masters repetition, who moves forward in defiance of fatigue, boredom, and comfort, becomes a force of nature. He ceases to be a man and becomes a machine of will. That is how greatness is built. Not with inspiration, but with war against the self. You believe power is a gift. It is not. Power is forged, bent, shaped in the fire of monotony and pain. Do not wait for greatness to fall upon you. You must rise and seize it inch by brutal inch. And this begins with a vow to show up every day with or without feeling. Because feelings are liars. Your comfort wants you dead. Your mind seeks pleasure like a dog seeks scraps. You must be the master of that beast. You must rise as the architect of your own inevitability. Comment below. Write it in your blood. Consistency is my weapon. Say it now. Because until you name it, you will never wield it. The weak man hopes. The strong man acts. The untouchable man repeats, over and over, without applause, without recognition, without excuse. This is the law, the hidden law that bends the world to those who obey it with ruthless discipline. Listen carefully. Your greatness is not buried under potential. It is buried under your habits, the small ones, the invisible ones, the rituals you neglect when no one is watching. That is the battlefield, not the stage, not the war, but the morning alarm, the silent study, the repetition of movement until the movement becomes you. Weak men look for results, strong men build rituals, and the untouchable man, he becomes his rituals. They are no longer tasks, they are law, they are breath, they are unbreakable. This is how you destroy chaos, by creating structure so solid even storms fail to shake it. Your fortress is not built of stone, it is built of decisions, stacked daily without mercy. Each repetition is a brick, each act of defiance against comfort is mortar. Build it, guard it, because once the rituals fall, you fall with them. Most men live like leaves in the wind, blown by mood, drifting in excuses, worshipping the cult of motivation, never realizing that motivation is the drug of the mediocre. Machiavelli understood, it is not talent that rules the world. It is not genius, it is structure. Cold, mechanical, disciplined structure. Fortune smiles not on the inspired, but on the prepared. And preparation is repetition, day after day, without fail, without delay. You think discipline is hard? Good. It should be, because only the worthy should wear the crown. Comment now, my rituals are my fortress. Etch it in your mind, because the man without rituals is defenseless. He is naked before distraction. He is a slave begging to be conquered. But the man of ritual, he commands time. He commands focus. He commands himself. You were not born weak. You were taught to be, taught to chase ease, taught to believe in fairness, taught to wait until you feel ready. But power does not wait. Power is taken, seized by those who rise without invitation, who move without permission. The man who only works when he feels good will be owned by the man who works regardless. This is the raw truth. There are no secrets, only repetition. And the one who repeats the hardest things, longest, without excuse, becomes inevitable. Think of iron. It is forged with fire, then struck again and again until it obeys the will of the blacksmith. You are the fire, you are the hammer, you are the weapon being made, but only if you endure, only if you show up again and again until even the gods call you disciplined. Comment below, claim it. I rise every day without excuse. Write it now or admit that you are a slave, because excuses are chains. They are not made of metal, they are made of softness, of later, of maybe tomorrow. Every excuse is a surrender, and every surrender makes you smaller. Your will breaks in pieces, and you call it a reason. No, it is betrayal. And the man who betrays his own word cannot command anything. Not his time, not his body, not his life. But you are here to rise, to crush the whisper of weakness under the boot of will. There is no plan B. There is only command, daily command. Until the world has no choice but to kneel. You do not need more inspiration. You need more repetition. The world is full of dreamers who never act, of men who shout about their potential and then vanish. When it's time to work, they talk of goals, they post their intentions, they fantasize about their empire. But empires are not built on fantasy. They are built on hours, on scars, on discipline so unshakable, it looks insane. Machiavelli would tell you, the prince who rules in silence dominates in war. That is your task. Become silent, become disciplined, become dangerous. You don't need to announce your ambition. Let your rituals announce it. Let your results speak your name in rooms you haven't entered yet. Most men will never understand this. Let them stay behind. You were not born for mediocrity. You were born for mastery. Comment this: excuses die. I remain. Say it with fire, because excuses will always seduce the weak. They are sweet poison. I'm tired. I don't feel like it. I'll start tomorrow. Each one is a leash tied to your neck, held by your weaker self. Break them. Rip them out. Burn them. Excuses are not harmless. They are assassins. They kill potential in its sleep. They turn kings into beggars. You want discipline? Start by becoming a killer of excuses, ruthless, unforgiving, cold. That is how you earn the crown, not by dreaming, but by destroying every reason not to rise. Remember, your future self is built today or betrayed today. No third option exists. Discipline is not a feeling. It is a verdict, a sentence you hand yourself each morning. Rise, train, build, study, repeat. Whether the sky is falling or the sun is shining, the verdict does not change. Because the disciplined man is not ruled by circumstance, he is not moved by mood. He is his own weather, his own war, his own law. This is what terrifies the weak, a man who moves forward with no excuse, no complaint, no delay. The world cannot bribe him. Pleasure cannot seduce him. Pain cannot stop him. He is steady, cold, inevitably advancing. Machiavelli would recognize him as the true prince, the one who rules first over himself. Write it again. No excuses, only power. This is not a motto. It is a sword. Carry it into every battle. Etch it into every thought. Because the world does not care if you are tired. Your enemies do not care. Fortune does not care. Only you care. And if your care becomes softness, you will fall. If your care becomes command, you will rise. Let every excuse be a red flag. Let every I can't ignite your defiance. Discipline is not about what you want. It is about what must be done. Every time you act despite resistance, you evolve. Every time you delay, you decay. There is no middle path. Choose. Ritual is the architecture of dominance. Without it, you wander. With it, you ascend. Weak men act on impulse. Strong men act on schedule. And the untouchable man, he acts by decree. His rituals are not optional. They are sacred. They are the blueprint of conquest. You think it's freedom to be spontaneous. No, that is slavery to emotion. Real freedom is forged in routine, when your day bends to your will, not the other way around. Machiavelli knew this. A ruler who does not maintain structure invites collapse. The same applies to you. Without rituals, you are ruled by randomness. With them, you rule yourself. Write this now. My rituals are my fortress. Let the world crumble. Let distractions scream. Let weakness tempt you. If your rituals stand, you remain. Each day is a battlefield. Most men walk in naked. You walk in armored, with training, focus, discipline etched into your bones. Morning, noon, night. Repeat, until the repetition is no longer a task but a truth. And when others burn out, you endure. When others lose faith, you continue. Because your rituals are not for motivation, they are for mastery. And mastery bows only to the man who never breaks the chain. Let boredom come. Let exhaustion knock. You are the architect. You are the law. You are the fortress. Pain is not the enemy. It is the forge. The weak run from it, hide behind comfort, medicate their cowardice with entertainment and false pleasure. But the powerful, they do something different. They use pain. They let it carve them into steel. They take every sting, every ache, every insult, and make it a teacher. Pain shows you exactly where you are soft, where you are fragile, where the fortress has cracks. And most men, when shown their cracks, cover them with excuses, but not you. You fill them with fire. You let pain strip you to your foundation, and then you rebuild, colder, sharper, unbreakable. Machiavelli would not pity your suffering. He would demand it, because power is never inherited. It is suffered for, it is bled for, it is paid for with the currency of discomfort, sacrifice, and silent endurance. So write it. Pain builds me, not because it sounds good, but because it is the only truth left when comfort fades. The road to power is paved with broken limits. Think of the soldier, hardened by war, not because he avoided pain, but because he lived with it. Every morning you rise when your body begs for sleep, you rise stronger. Every time you train while sore, you sharpen your edge. Every time you work while your mind cries for rest, you etch another line of strength into your soul. Weakness is a choice made in the presence of pain. So is power. You do not become iron by reading. You become iron by burning. Let others avoid the fire. You walk into it, eyes open, fists clenched, spine straight. Because you know this law, pain never lasts. But the power it creates can outlive empires. Comfort is the silent enemy. It wears a smile, speaks softly, and kills slowly. Not with swords or fire, but with softness. Late mornings, skipped workouts, endless scrolling, forgotten dreams. It whispers, "You've done enough." It murmurs, "Take it easy." And while you listen, your edge dulls, your vision fades, your empire collapses before it's even begun. Understand this: no great man ever rose from comfort. Machiavelli warned of this softness. He saw how luxury destroys rulers, how indulgence invites rebellion, not just from others but from within. The prince who surrounds himself with ease breeds contempt, first in his people, then in his own heart. The same law governs you. If you allow comfort to seduce you, it will own you. It will dress your mediocrity in velvet and call it a reward. But it is a coffin. Declare it now. Comfort is my enemy. Say it like a curse, because that's what it is. Look around. How many men have been destroyed by softness? They sleep more than they plan. They consume more than they create. They chase the warmth of distraction while their purpose freezes in neglect. They wear their chains proudly, decorated in convenience, unaware that they've been conquered. But not you. You must see comfort for what it is, a predator, and you must become its predator in return. Refuse it, mock it, destroy it. Every time you choose discomfort, you reclaim a piece of your crown. Every act of defiance sharpens your will. And one day, when comfort comes to claim you, you will laugh, not because it is harmless, but because you have become far more dangerous. Focus is the blade. Discipline gives you movement, but focus gives you penetration. Without it, you scatter your strength like an army charging in every direction. You waste hours, energy, potential. You become the illusion of progress, busy, loud, but ineffective. That is why the world is full of men who try everything and master nothing. But the man of focus is a different beast. He chooses one mission, one path, one throne, and he eliminates everything else. No distractions, no side quests. His mind is not a garden, it is a battlefield, and only the worthy thoughts survive. Machiavelli warned rulers not to divide their forces. A prince who fights too many enemies becomes food for all of them. The same principle applies to you. If you divide your will, you dilute your power. Say it. Focus is my power. Etch it in steel. You don't need more time. You need fewer leaks, fewer open tabs in your mind, fewer attachments to meaningless entertainment, shallow validation, and endless mental noise. Every act of distraction is self-sabotage. Every indulgence in novelty is treason against your future. The disciplined man without focus is still weak. He trains hard but lacks direction. He reads much but retains little. He acts often but finishes nothing. You must be precise, ruthless. The focused man is not swayed by dopamine. He is not moved by trends. He is not shaken by failure. His mind, once locked onto a target, becomes a weapon of destruction. One goal, one mission, one victory at a time, until the world, once chaotic, bends to his clarity. You must kill the idea of balance. Balance is for men who fear the edge. Balance is a code word for hesitation, for doubt, for safety. And safety is the great lie sold to weak men. The truth? Mastery is not balanced. It is extreme. It demands everything. You do not become great by giving equal time to comfort and struggle. You become great by choosing struggle, again and again until comfort no longer recognizes you. Machiavelli would not whisper of moderation. He would shout for supremacy. The prince who wins does not do so by being well-rounded. He wins by being unbreakable in one direction, focused, obsessed, relentless. And you, if you dare wear the crown, must become the same. No more multitasking, no more diluted desires. One will, one direction, all in. Comment this with blood. My mind is a spear, because that is what it must become, sharp, piercing and aimed. There is no room for maybes. Every maybe is a door left open for mediocrity to crawl in. Every "I'll see" is a betrayal of the throne you claim to build. The mind must be ruled with the same severity you demand from your body. You do not let your muscles grow soft. Why allow your focus to do so? Discipline without focus is motion without aim, fire without a target. It burns bright, but it accomplishes nothing. But focus, pure, cold, weaponized focus, makes your actions lethal, your energy finite, your hours sacred, your presence unforgettable. You do not scatter. You do not chase. You move forward like a storm, silent, sure, unstoppable. Consistency is the throne, but automation is the crown. Anyone can start, few can sustain, and fewer still can reach the level where discipline becomes effortless. That is the final form, when effort disappears and habit takes command. When you no longer think about what needs to be done, because it's already being done, your life becomes a machine, cold and powerful, fueled not by motivation but by design. This is the discipline engine. You build it gear by gear, wake time, training time, workflow, study block. You grease it with suffering. You crank it with force, and eventually it roars. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Machiavelli knew this. Power lies not in the moment of victory, but in the machinery that guarantees repeated victory. You must become the machinery. Now carve this into yourself. My habits are my engine. It is not willpower that wins wars. Willpower fades, systems endure. Weak men make decisions daily. Strong men make them once, and then live the result. They don't waste thought on when to rise. They rise. They don't decide whether to train. They train. They don't wait for motivation. They are already in motion. This is what it means to rule yourself, to enslave yourself to powerful habits. Because whether you like it or not, you are a slave. The only question is to what? To chaos or to order? To weakness or to greatness? To distraction or to destiny? The engine does not care how you feel. It moves forward, always. That is your goal, to build something so ruthless, so automatic, that even when the world collapses, you do not. Reputation is the shadow that walks ahead of you. It speaks before you open your mouth. It enters rooms before your body does. You may think it's enough to be strong, to be disciplined, to be focused. But Machiavelli knew better. He knew men are ruled not by truth, but by perception. And reputation is perception made permanent. It is the story others tell about you when you are not there. A weak reputation is a curse. It demands explanation, apology, justification. A strong reputation is a weapon. It demands respect, even silence. The disciplined man doesn't beg to be recognized. He is recognized. His aura precedes him. His consistency becomes legend, and his legend protects him. Write this. My reputation is my weapon. Because it is. And every choice you make sharpens or dulls it. Every time you skip a ritual, your shadow shrinks. Every time you excuse weakness, your reputation cracks. But every time you wake early, you train hard, you focus deep, you add another brick to the fortress that surrounds your name. Think of reputation as compound interest, silent at first, unseen, but eventually unstoppable. People begin to whisper your name with reverence, not because you speak loudly, but because your results are deafening. That is power, quiet, invisible, yet undeniable. But be warned, reputation is fragile. One act of softness can undo years of strength. Guard your shadow. Build it slowly. Defend it ruthlessly. Because once you lose it, the world does not forget. Mastery is the crown, not given, not inherited, earned, forged through endless repetition, carved through pain, tempered through focus. You do not stumble into mastery. You do not arrive there by accident. It is the slow, brutal reward of those who refuse to break. Discipline is the path. Consistency is the pace. Mastery is the destination. Machiavelli understood this intimately. Power is not talent. Power is not charm. Power is not chance. Power is endurance perfected. Most men collapse long before mastery is even possible. They flirt with discipline, then abandon it. They visit greatness, then retreat. But you must live there. You must stay in the fire until the fire becomes your home. Declare it. I claim the crown of mastery, not with ego, with conviction, because mastery is not a feeling. It is not inspiration. It is identity. It is who you become when you kill excuses, when you chain comfort, when you sharpen focus into a spear. The master does not negotiate with himself. The weaker self is dead. But understand this, mastery is not a place of rest. It is a place of greater responsibility. The crown is not welded to your skull. It must be earned daily, defended against every temptation, every whisper of weakness, every tug back toward mediocrity. The higher you rise, the harder you must fight. Most rulers fall not because they were conquered, but because they grew soft. You cannot afford softness. You wear the crown, or you lose it. There is no middle ground. The crown of mastery is not for display. It is not adorned with jewels or praised by crowds. It is heavy, cold, invisible, but its weight is felt in every step you take, in every word you speak, in every silence you command. The world doesn't applaud mastery. The world fears it, because the master reminds them of their failure to rise. He becomes a mirror, exposing their excuses, their indulgences, their softness, and so they mock him. They call him obsessed, extreme, inhuman. But in truth, they envy what they cannot understand. Machiavelli knew this. True rulers walk alone. The masses cannot follow. They can only watch. Mastery is solitude wrapped in strength. Do not seek approval. Do not expect applause. You are not building popularity. You are building permanence. Etch this in your blood. I defend my crown daily, because it will be attacked by doubt, by fatigue, by the pull of old habits dressed in nostalgia. You will feel the whisper of the man you used to be, the one who slept in, who skipped steps, who craved comfort. He will beg to return. Kill him every day. Because once you let him back in, once you entertain his voice, your crown begins to crack. Mastery is eternal vigilance. It is the rejection of regression. It is not enough to rise, you must remain. That is the final war. Not to reach the summit, but to build a fortress on it. One ritual at a time, 1 hour of focus, one act of defiance. And when others fall, when rulers collapse, when fortune turns cold, you will remain. Not because you are lucky, but because you are unshakable. There is a final command, a law that supersedes all others. It is not written in books, not whispered by teachers. It is carved into the lives of the few who rise. That law is this: rule yourself or be ruled. There is no third path, no neutral ground. Either your discipline becomes your master, or your weakness does. Either you build your empire, or you serve in another's. Most men will never understand this. They live in chains while singing songs of freedom. They drown in comfort while screaming ambition. They mistake motion for progress, inspiration for transformation. But you, if you are to become untouchable, you must see clearly. Machiavelli said that the prince must master perception. Begin with the one that matters most, the one you hold of yourself. Speak this with force. I command myself without mercy. This is not cruelty. This is clarity. You are at war, not with the world, but with your lesser nature. The one that hesitates, that distracts, that makes promises it never keeps. That version must die, and you must kill it daily. With action, with structure, with relentless force. Do not wait for the world to crown you. Do not wait for others to validate you. Become the ruler of your own mind. Build your command in silence. Let your rituals become law. Let your results speak louder than your intentions. Because in the end, only one thing matters: what you've built in blood. The man who commands himself needs no permission, no applause, no reassurance. He is sovereign, and to the sovereign the world bows or breaks. You must now understand that no one is coming, no one will hand you power, no one will gift you discipline. There is no savior, no mentor, no moment of divine clarity that will change your life. There is only you, and the war you either fight or flee. This is what makes you dangerous. The man who accepts full responsibility is the man no one can control. He does not wait. He does not blame. He does not hope. He acts. Machiavelli warned that fortune favors the prepared. You are not preparing for someday. You are preparing for war now. And war is already here. Silent, internal, brutal. But if you face it, if you defeat the excuses, the comfort, the chaos within, you will emerge as something few have ever seen. Inevitable. Comment this, declare this, breathe this. I am inevitable. Let the words brand themselves onto your mind, not because they are magical, but because you are. Every ritual, every sacrifice, every brutal repetition has brought you closer to the edge of transformation. The masses do not become inevitable. They become forgotten. But the ruler, the untouchable, the one, who commands himself daily, he becomes legend. The path ahead is not easy. It is not warm, but it is yours. Take it with force, with fury, with finality. Reject the soft voice of ease. Bury the corpse of who you were. Rise now, not as a man chasing discipline, but as one who bleeds it. The crown of mastery is not for dreamers. It is for doers. Finish what you began. Seal your fate. Dominate your destiny. You have walked through the fire. You have heard the law, the strategy, the command. Now there is nothing left to learn, only something left to become. And becoming is the harshest task of all, because it requires death, the death of the passive self, the death of the excuse maker, the death of the comfort addict. To rise, you must kill who you were, and kill him again every time he returns. This is not transformation. This is execution. And once the weak self is gone, what remains is the raw material of the ruler. Cold, focused, consistent, dangerous. Machiavelli would call him a prince, but you will know him as something more, untouchable. Because now you do not just speak of discipline, you are discipline. You do not just admire power, you embody it. Let your final words be this: I rise above all weakness, not because you never fall, but because you rise again without hesitation. The untouchable man is not perfect. He is relentless. He is not adored. He is respected. He is not accepted. He is feared. And when the world watches, when they whisper your name, when they measure themselves against your presence, understand this. It is not because of your words. It is because of your rituals, your focus, your reputation, your mastery. These are your weapons. Use them, defend them, expand them. And when comfort calls, when distraction tempts, when excuses beg for resurrection, you answer with silence, with action, with the cold gaze of a man who has become his own God. This is the final command. Obey it, and the world obeys you.